Good morning. Today is the 13th of March, 2020. This is Math 1, and we're going to talk about proofs involving CPCTC. These are all of your notes for today. Put them in the box right next to HL. You're going to just copy that in, and then I'll explain it.
I spelled CPCTC
Yeah, I think I already have a box for this. Yeah, I already had a box for it.
What's Fisher doing?
He's in Arizona.
Where? Arizona?
Yep.
For baseball?
Is he going to the Grand
It's
Canyon?
for his little brother's school.
Okay, so I got to listen to it. Right, so here's what CPCTC does, and I think I gave you this example. Where's HL for you? All right, gotcha. I see what you did. Yeah. This is usually the last thing you'll do in a proof. I think, did I use Gordon as my example? Let's say that Gordon and I are identical.
Yeah.
We are identical. We have proven that we are identical. Are our right hands identical?
Yep.
Our eyes are identical? And that's what it's saying. That once I've done SAS or ASA or AAS or what, once I've proven the triangles are congruent, then I can say that all the parts are congruent.
Yep.
That's what it does. And this will be the last thing of pretty much any proof you're going to be doing today. Well, it will be the last thing today. So with that, get out a whiteboard and a marker, and let's do some proving up. Oh, we're proving on up.
I'll be the cowbell.
More cowbell. Oh, look at that one. It's got all these little dots on it. That's what somebody did in my class. Erase it, man. Erase it.
All that hard work.
Miranda, your board's ready to go. Just leave it. I don't know about green. Oh.
My marker's running out of
Here we go. Tell me, how do you know that MN is congruent to PQ? How do you know that? How do you know that right on your whiteboard? How do you know that MN is congruent to PQ? That's why. That's why, that's why, that's why. That's why.
Yeah.
That's why, that's why, that's why, that's why, that's why. Good, good, good. Given. It is the given. How do you know that NO is congruent to RQ? I gotta mark this up as I go along though, don't I? MN, PQ. MN, PQ. Good. How do I know that NO, that those two guys are congruent? How do I know that? Given. JJ, given. How do I know that OM is congruent to RP? OM, RP. How do I know that those two guys are congruent? Given. Gordon. Yes. The interaction over there. Okay. And How do I know that these two triangles are congruent? Beautiful, beautiful. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That is beautiful, 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 beautiful. I know it by SSS. Yesterday's lesson, we would stop right there. But we're going to go one more step. We have now proven that the two triangles are congruent. So how do I know that M and P are congruent? Good. That's today's lesson right there. It just happened. That's it. Oh, yeah. Good, good. Good, good.
That's why you gave it to us today.
That's why I gave it to you. Good, good, good. Good. Looking for Jackson. Good. Looking for Micah. Good, good, good. And Gavin? You get a good? Did I give you a good?
I'm not drawing.
I don't remember giving you a good. Okay.
Wait,
These are congruent because corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. Are these angles congruent?
Yes.
Are these angles congruent?
Yes.
Yes. Once I've proved the triangles are congruent, all of the parts are congruent.
Impressive.
Let's go to this one. Some of you are already ready.
So pretty. So pretty.
Let's see. SU is congruent to UV. SU is congruent to UV. Those guys are congruent. How do you know that's true? Good, good. I'll just take your word for it. It is a given. All right. Reflexive property. There it is right there. How would you bring in the reflexive? Perfect. You've got it? Check it out. You guys are knowing what reflexive means now.
I did
Good,
mine.
good, good. Put a little line over them to indicate segments. Good, good. Good, 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 good. And Gavin Wamsley. Did you get a good?
I got the best good.
TU is congruent to itself. That's the reflexive property. This proof is flawed. We never brought in the perpendicular right here. It never mentioned it, but we're going to say this is perpendicular. If this is a right angle and this is a right angle, how do I know that these two angles are congruent? Which they are. Yes, check you out. No. She's right. Listen to the question, because I'm adding something different.
Oh, sorry.
I am telling you, this is a right angle and this is a right angle. How do I know that the angles are congruent? Yes, 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 yes. No. I have a right angle and a right angle. Are they congruent? How do you know? Because all right angles are congruent. If we had been doing this proof from the very beginning, we'd have to bring that in, but I didn't. Now, tell me why. How do we know the two triangles are congruent? Nope. That's not a way of saying that two triangles are congruent. Good. How do I know the two triangles are congruent? Good. Good. CPT. That one comes after I prove the congruencies. Good. 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 I have it as SAS.
Mr. Barre. Dash.
Now that I've proven the two triangles are congruent, I can say that ST, that this guy, is congruent to that guy. How can I say that? Good. Good.
I was going ahead. I didn't know which one we were on.
Perfect. Perfect.
It's CPCTC.
Backwards. Good, good, good. JJ, good, 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 good. What is it? That
Oh,
one right there?
CPC.
Good.
PT. Can you grab that cat dress, Mr. Barre? It's my GP. Kicked it.
We know the segments are congruent because congruent parts of congruent triangles are, no, sorry, corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent.
Yes.
This first statement has a typo on it. This should actually say parallel. those two lines are parallel. How do I know that? Good, 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 good. It's a given. And I'm going to mark up my drawing. Little arrows tell me that they're parallel. As soon as I see parallel lines, I start thinking about transversals and interiors and exteriors and stuff like that. So put that in your brain. How do I know that C is the midpoint of AE? It's a given. I'm just going to put it right here. C is the midpoint of AE right there. BAC is congruent to DEC. Those two angles are congruent. How do you know that? Good. No. Notice nowhere up there was a bisector ever brought in.
I don't know, but I don't think it said it.
No, look it up on that paper I gave you. Good.
Oh,
Good, good. 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 These are alternate interior angles. There are no exteriors on this because alternate interiors are like this. Exteriors would be out here, but there is nothing out there because that doesn't extend past it. Exteriors would be outside of it. So if this extended, then those would be exteriors. But it doesn't extend, so they're not there.
so they're non-existent.
They're non-existent in this situation. All right, what do we say? Alt exteriors?
Yes.
AC is congruent to EC. AC is congruent to EC. How do I know that's true? Yes. Yes. Yes, got it. Good.
Wait, it's not definitely.
Notice nowhere up there is a bisector ever mentioned. So you can't bring a bisector in on your own unless it was given to you. Good, good, good. What was given to you though? Good, good,
Oh.
perfect.
You know how to do this, Mr. Barre. Are you proud
Beautiful,
of
you
me?
got it.
Are you proud of me, Mr. Barre?
Very proud of you. It is a midpoint. It's because the definition of midpoint, if this is the midpoint, those segments are congruent. Find me some vertical angles that will be useful, but don't even show me your board. Just write it down. I'm not going to be able to check them all because there are too many different ways of writing it. My brain will hurt.
I'm not using that, right?
Find the vertical angles that will be useful for us. Don't show me your board. That is not going to be right. I can know it just by looking at the center letter. The center letter on both of them needs to be a C.
Yeah.
But just because it is a C doesn't mean that you've got the right two. Because I could do A, C, D, B, C, E, and those aren't the verticals I want. Did you go D, C, E?
Yeah.
And A, C, B?
But I
Or a switch around of it? Yep. So your options are either A, C, B, D, C, E, or a switch of those. There we go. Prove the triangles are congruent. What's for lunch? Really, you're not eating with us?
I didn't? No.
It's gotta be spicy.
Kidding you.
Now, this is ASA. And BC is congruent to DC. BC is congruent to DC. How do I know that those two guys are congruent? Nice. That's our kind of our ending thing.
He's been taught us today. No, wait.
Hey, is the disco girl thing on?
I think so.
That's good. I'm glad. That was like a good moment right there. Nice. CTCTC. Let's do another one.
I go draw my high heels last.
Hey. Yeah. Hold up your board. Put it down. Hold up your board. Put it down. Hold up your board. Put it down. Okay. Given, given, given. Given, given, given.
Ew. Ew.
Isn't it? A, B, D, E. A, B, D, E, given. A to D. A with D given. A, C, D, F. A, C, D, F. Given. Given.
Us just not trying to
Oh, yeah. Oh, you know what? You are supposed to complete it. Triangle ABC is congruent to which one?
ABC.
Perfect by that. I like it. ABC, good. By what triangle congruency?
Huh?
Okay, cool. That's that part, but by what triangle congruency?
Yeah.
Yes. No. Oh, yeah, sorry. Yes, yes. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, yes. Yes, yes. Yes, yes. It's Def Sass. Sounds like a rapper, doesn't it?
Definitely Mr. Barre.
Def Sass.
Def Sass.
Maybe not. Def Sass. Triangle DEF by SAS.
Have you ever been called Mr. Barre?
That's my last name in French is Barre. When I go to Paris, I wear my beret and I walk around and saying, I'm Mr. Barre, wearing a beret.
Have you ever been to Paris?
No, I have been to Paris. In ballet, that bar that you hold on to is spelled the way that my last name is spelled. And on a boat, the tiller arm, the back of a boat where you kind of steer, there's this bar on some boats. That's called a bar, I think. I'm making this up. So what do we say? How do I know that C is congruent to F? That is congruent to that. How do you know it?
They got those names all from your last name.
Everything.
Everything, because we made it.
And Mr. Bar Graph?
Mr. Barre.
Yep. My grandfather, my great-great-great-great-grandfather was the first person to ever sell alcohol. Where did he sell it? JJ thought that was funny. Hey, this is a true one, I think. Either like in the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, or something, one of my ancestors, they built like this wall, and it was used in the battle, and people like were behind the wall shooting at the other people. I don't know what side, I don't know if our wall helped or hurt. I don't know if it was a good thing.
Yeah, my great uncle is Robert E. Lee.
Robert E. Lee.
The Confederate general.
Oh, hey! Thank you. Oh, man. We need to finish this lesson so I can eat.
He's like, what about me?
Or you can just eat while you finish the lesson.
I just like,
All right.
can I have the contact of this line?
We have one more.
Una más.
Una más.
So, I'm guessing it's not you're so mean!
All right, hold up your board. Good, put it down. Hold it up again. Given, given. Hey, Chris. So, come again. Given, market. Given, market. I'm marking it up as I go along. All right. HGJ, HGJ, this is congruent to that. How do you know? That and that are congruent. How do you know? Yes, yes, yes. As soon as the parallel lines start coming into the world, I'm thinking about those guys.
Wait, so it's this like
So,
the top would be parallel?
boom, these are the top. Aren't those the ones that were given to me?
Yeah.
Cut by a transversal, congruent, congruent. That's what's going on here. Parallel lines, cut by a transversal, congruent, congruent.
It could be work with those ones. Yeah.
It could work with these guys too?
Yeah.
No.
We don't know if that's true. GI.
Because no, we don't know that because it's a different angle.
Yeah, we don't know.
So alternate interiors. I gave you the reflexive. Here's the reflexive. How do you know they're congruent?
We just know.
You can't just know. Good, good, good. How do you know they're congruent? Good, 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 good. They are congruent by ASA. ASA. So how do we know that the parts are congruent? By CPCTC. That's it. We are done. Before you start, the homework instructions are identical to yesterday's. It's the exact same question. I just made a copy of it.
No way.
Yes, way.
Wait. I don't got it. What?
We're good.
So is this the same question?
No, it's not the same questions. The instructions are identical to last night's instructions. One per page. Write everything down.